Hi everyone, this is Mr. Richmond, and for this video we're going to look at the greenhouse effect. What is the real story, the summative grade, the summative project that you have coming up due next week. So I started off the document by having a definition for what the greenhouse effect is. You're going to need this definition as well as your understanding of what the greenhouse effect is and what you've been studying over the past couple weeks to help you successfully complete this project. So I'm not going to read this whole document to you, but I'm just going to highlight some things that you want to include in your project for you to get a solid grade. So your task is to find at least 2 examples of how the media kind of misleads or portrays the greenhouse effect as a negative thing, when in essence the greenhouse effect, without it, it would be very difficult for humans, plants, animals, vegetation to survive on this planet without it being at a nice comfortable temperature, because that's what the greenhouse effect does. It traps in infrared radiation, keeping our Earth at a nice comfortable temperature. However, over the past 150 or so years, we do know that through human impact, there has been a great increase in the amount of greenhouse gases that have led to an overall increase in average global temperature, which we know has some negative impacts on our ecosystem and environment. So it shouldn't be that difficult for you to find a couple articles that just focus on the negative aspect of the greenhouse effect. So you want to be able to explain what these articles are showing, as well as explain really what's going on with the greenhouse effect, why we might need it in order for us to survive. So your goal is to create a presentation. This is very open-ended. It could be a report or a research paper. It could be a PowerPoint, a poster, video, podcast. Up to you how you want to present your findings. But make sure that your research does demonstrate multiple examples of how the greenhouse effect is being presented. Again, you're going to find research articles, videos, whatever that is in the media that just portrays the greenhouse effect in a negative light. Your research also needs to demonstrate the positive aspects of the Earth's greenhouse effect on the habitability of the planet surface. The ability for different animals and species to survive here depends on the positive aspects of the greenhouse effect, and make sure that you do a good job explaining that. Your project needs to show a clear understanding of the process of how energy exchange is related to the greenhouse effect. Think of the Earth energy budget diagram that we looked at last week that showed the distribution of visible and infrared radiation. Some of it get reflected and absorbed in our atmosphere as well as our Earth's surface. And make sure to present an objective view. This means that you're strictly looking at data and you're not taking into account opinions of personalities in the media or opinions that you may have about the greenhouse effect. You're strictly looking at data and numbers to support your findings. The objective view of the current concerns related to the buildup of greenhouse gases. This would include showing both the natural and human-influenced sources of greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect have been around this planet long before humans have been here. There are multiple ways for greenhouse gases to be produced naturally, so you might want to research that to fulfill number 4 here. So let's look at your rubric, and I'm not going to read this entire thing to you, but I'm going to focus strictly on how to get close to full credit or full credit for each one of these 5 categories that we're going to look at. First category is the media point of view. To get to exceeding expectations here, I know earlier in the video that you need to identify at least 2 examples in the media, but to get full credit here, you want to show more than 3. So that's 4 examples from the media of how the greenhouse effect has an overall negative image. So nowhere in these articles can you find any positive aspects about the greenhouse effect. The second category, worth 15 points, the greenhouse effect's mechanism. The presentation that you're going to be producing effectively presents the currently accepted theory of energy exchange for Earth's greenhouse effect. So why might we think this could be a negative thing? This is done through more than one means: video, image, verbal, handwritten, whatever you would like to. Just make sure that you have more than 2 sources of media to help your explanation with the greenhouse effect. The impact the greenhouse effect has on the biosphere. This is our next category. This is a reservoir. The biosphere is a reservoir that you might recognize from an earlier assignment. That root word bio meaning life or living. So this is discussing the relationship between the greenhouse effect and its impact on anything living on our planet, the biosphere. Make sure that you clearly explain it and have specific multiple examples of data concerning global climates. This is where the Keeling curve might come in handy a little bit. You might be able to extract some pretty good data from that graph that you made earlier in this unit. Then finally, we have 2 smaller categories. We got format sources, so any diagrams, video clips, data pictures that you might have, make sure that you are setting them appropriately. And finally, grammar and spelling, make sure that you proofread before you submit this assignment into turnitin.com. All right, as always, please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope this helps give you an understanding for what you need to do to be successful in this assignment, and good luck.